Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Apple price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. And starting on the daily or the all-time history for Apple, we're looking at a triple 1-2s here where we have a 1-2, wave 3, 4 and a 5. So the orange scenario is your main wave 3 of this impulse after double 1-2 if you want to consider this. And inside your wave 3 of this orange scenario, you have a triple 1-2s. Of course, it can be 1-2, but your wave 2 is very shallow, therefore preferably that we reach a 3 or triple 1-2s here. We have a wave 3, 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, of course, to finish a wave 3 towards the upside. Currently, we have finished, of course, this wave 3 and a wave 4, and we're looking, of course, for continuation for a wave 5 toward the upside. Now, your wave 5, of course, has been invalidated. In case you were looking at 1, 2, 3, and you got, of course, an invalidation, meaning this has turned, of course, at 3 waves up, and you're looking for a correction here. Our correction target for Apple were the 1.38 or 1.618. However, of course, after invalidation of this impulse, we are potentially right now looking for something else unfolding. It can be, of course, a running flat here and continuation toward the upside, only in case you have finished a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is obviously looks like so. We're gonna dive deeper, of course, inside it to see what is going on inside this area. Now, for the channeling, based on the wave 2, of course, your acceleration channel here, you have left, of course, the acceleration channel where we finished a potential wave 4 and a 5. Basically, this was supposed to be a wave 5, but it is not finished actually, unless if we have to consider it as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 ending diagonal, but very low possibility because your wave 4 is very shallow, and regarding the time, it is impossible. Yeah, so basically, I'm still looking here at a, you can see that the base channel has been almost retraced toward the upside, played as resistance, bringing the price again to the acceleration channel. And that means, of course, we might see a continuation for a wave 5 starting from now, of course, from this price action. So if we dive a little bit deeper inside it and we check the 4-hour chart here, after this deep correction, which it can be, of course, a kind of like WX and a Y, and finish, of course, a bigger WX and a Y. Here, the wave Y is not necessarily, of course, to take the low. However, we were looking, of course, a little bit for these blue boxes here, but it was not 100% reached. And we start to see some movement toward the upside. If we dive a little bit deeper here, we can see, of course, a zigzag formation for a potential wave 1 in a leading diagonal. If this is an ABC zigzag wave 1, you have your correction. You got your A, B, and a C again, potentially. Well, yeah, it's a little bit hard to call this, of course, an impulse for a wave C. I see this a very weak impulse, and anyway, you did not took the high. However, if we dive a little bit deeper to a little bit dive inside this area. So basically, if I'm looking at this part here, what are the scenario that you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? First, you want to see a 1, 2, so perfect. A wave 3 should be, of course, impulsive. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So that is fine. If we zoom in inside it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Well, you can see also a very deep wave 4 inside, right? And this deep wave 4 has touched the 1, 2 of your wave 3 here, right? So it's not allowed. And this is, of course, an invalidation here. And that means, of course, I don't see yet a clear impulse. It can be now, what are the potentials that we are forming? A 1, 2, for example, and 3, 4, and a 5. Well, it can be, but this looks a little bit here like expanding diagonal, which I don't also like it because it is very, very rare case scenario. The last option that it can still left here, it can be a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, that is an ending diagonal, can be unfolding potentially as zigzags, but yeah, very questionable again. Very choppy price. We still need, of course, anyway, to take the high here to make sure that we are at least in a leading diagonal wave 3, and to make sure that we are in a good path for a, of course, recovery in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as leading diagonal. Meaning your wave 3 as diagonal, basically those are the perfect fib levels, yeah. But of course it can be as well the 0.618 as a normal level, which it can of course easily take the high, and yeah, at least finishing a wave 3 as it's supposed to be. So basically, of course, the aggressivity again of this ending diagonal, it depends on this impulse, how it's gonna end up, and then we adjust, of course. Never think that this is exactly the path of the leading diagonal that it should be there. It's just virtual, guys, to keep the idea and the scenario there, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. We're gonna see, I see this a little bit corrective. What I'm suggesting here, because an impulse here has been created, what if we have an ABC, a little bit of correction for a longer wave B, and then moving impulsively for a wave C to finish a wave 3? Can be, why not? I still see bullish here much more than, of course, even if you see a choppy wave here, I still see it as much more as bullish rather than bearish. Why? Because if this is a correction, this correction is very volatile toward the upside, meaning it's barely having the power to correct, and that because of the buying power. Yeah. At the same time, while a correction is happening, a lot of buyers are still entering, so the correction is getting deviated, and formation of a potential flat, and then moving toward the upside anyway, or simply moving directly for higher, because this can be already ABC flat and then continuation for higher. In all case scenarios, a higher possibility is still, of course, to move for higher prices. Okay, this is the potential scenarios for Aapl here, and we're gonna take it from there. Once we break, of course, this low here, if we break this low massively, impulsively, therefore, okay, we start to think, okay, something else is unfolding, and we have to switch to bearish. But currently, we did not, of course, see this. So once you break the 201, exactly this scenario here, this price, well, you have to start to think in bearish, unless you still have the option to move toward the upside. That was it for Aapl. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one.